Not funny. Not funny. Funny. Not funny.
So are we going to get a garbage plate or not?
Yes.
We
If we go
are.
to Rochester, we have to get a garbage plate.
Okay.
Because
And
that
what
is
is
the signature dish.
what is a garbage plate again?
And
What?
you can look it up. It's just like some guy
You know-
made some really revolting meal at a diner in Rochester and somehow turned it into a nationwide culinary meme. So
Sometimes
I better watch
I-
it. All those people from Rochester may come and burn my house down. I mean, I'm only like an hour and a half away. Yeah, garbage plate, fabulous. Michelin, 3-star. Can't get enough of them garbage plates.
so I do say things for the benefit of people listening. So when you're just like, look it up, I mean, that's like,
Well, okay. Yes,
it's been nice talking to you. It's been great.
Okay. Can we roll end credits now? Okay, let's get going.
I've got an encoding problem again. I'm trying to just make some samples, for crying out loud, some tracks of our guest's music for the latest project that he's done, Day in Music. Phil Broikos is with us. Hi, Phil.
Hello.
And his project we featured in our first season we are now on season 6. And his project is A Day in Music, which is 24 hours of music from well, how do we explain it again? You did a fantastic TED Talk, which I thought was wonderful. Where at the end was, I forgot the joke you made, but it was something like, if you think that I'm telling you, if you think that I'm telling you that you should make a 24-hour album, please go to you didn't understand what I was saying.com.
You know, I actually tried to get that. I think I registered that. So in case, and I was trying to make it so that
great.
if anybody went there, they would be like rerouted to somewhere, but I couldn't figure it out. Technology is not my forte.
You can call me. I can help with that, except
Yeah.
what I
make
can't
clips. Yeah.
do apparently is make clips. Yes, exactly. How?
But other than that,
I can help with that.
yeah, that really elementary task. But yeah, I
It's,
can't tie my
ooh.
shoes, but I can,
I've got to figure out how to convert all of these to 48K from 44.
Jim,
They won't let me upload them.
Jim,
What?
Phil's here. Can we get to the music? Because really,
I can't
I got a
play
lot I
any
want to ask.
music.
I got a lot of questions.
Tell you.
So I spent before I hit you with a snowplow of my thoughts, Phil. Is there anything you wish to say at the outset in your defense?
Defense.
No.
What does he have to be defensive about?
Well, he has a lot to answer for here.
Okay. All right.
Oh, I will say that I really am coveting those microphones that you guys are using. Those look fancy. AKG something.
You've
Yeah,
got
they're
a
just-
whole. Yours is better, I think. You've
It's
got
a
a whole
50
pop filter happening, and
Uh-huh.
the stocking on the circle thing.
Yeah.
That's sexy.
Yeah. So I listened extensively to 4 a.m.
Oh,
And I'm sure you're working on 5 a.m. now, maybe even 6 a.m. I'm not sure.
5 a.m. Yeah.
You're working on 5 a.m. right now.
Yep.
I listened to 4 a.m. and listening to it made me think about what is the purpose of talking about music? It's kind of interesting because sometimes, I was that kid who hated when people read the album while the music was playing. There's always the people who take the album, they stick their face back when there's albums. They take the album, they'd stick their face in the album while the music was playing. I was like, put the cover down, just listen to the music.
Mm.
And I've sort of mellowed out, and I sort of understand where they're coming from. But it was interesting because as we discussed before, there are events behind each of these 12 songs. But I couldn't find, when I listened to the first few ones, the first few records, either it was pretty well explained what the events are that gave rise to the songs. For 4 a.m., I couldn't find any.
Yeah,
Was that intentional?
No. That I do have something to answer to, and that
No,
is
I don't.
like,
What I want to say. This is what I want to say. I think it's great because
That was
to
a
me,
surprise.
once you read that historical explanation, it just sort of at some point you're gonna have to read it. I think at some point because it's part of the creation. But I think it's kind of cool that you listen to the tune first and hit it head on and then listen to it. I don't know. But when I listened to these songs, I didn't have the explanations. So I felt it was a more pure experience.
In case nobody knows what Lionel is talking about, Phil is recording 24 hours worth of music, 5-minute song at a time. So a 5-minute song at a time. Each album is exactly 1 hour long and represents an hour of the day. Started at 12 a.m. And each of the songs represents something that happened at that time. So the third song at 12 a.m. happened at 12:15, unless I'm wrong and it happened at 12. No, it happened at 12:15. Um, and so on. And Phil is up
12:10 to 12:15.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. 12:10 to 12:15.
that would
The ending would be at 12:15. No?
The 12:15 would be the fourth song.
You're right.
Okay.
I thought I had that wrong. And so he has made 4 of these. He's working on 5 a.m. So each song is exactly 12 songs long, represent a time of day. And the idea of the project is to make a day in music that would take you 24 hours to listen to all at once. Does that sound like a good description?
And each 5-minute song is based upon an event.
Exactly.
Either real or fictional.
Could be fictional.
Literary or something like that.
That takes place during that time period within the 5 minutes that the song represents in the course of the project.
And it adds a lot.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the tunes I've listened to, like knowing the historical event behind it really added. Well, it's hard to tell because I knew it the moment I dropped the needle on the tune. So it's kind of hard to tell what it is and stuff like that. But all that being said, you know, I just always worry about, first I have no interest. I'm sorry. It's a great album. That's what I'm trying to say. It's just, it's some of these moments are so good that I kind of even hate talking about them. Because to me, it's just like the music should just play through. But some of them are, I think really, some of them are really exquisite. And it's interesting to hear what I perceive. It's interesting. I perceive some changes in style. I just see on this album on 4 a.m. there's a lot more reverb. It just sounds bigger. It's more reverb and more spacious. I don't know. Maybe I'm just imagining that but it seemed bigger. Certainly, there just seemed to be certain themes coming through on it. There's the trio of songs, which is Reaction in the Aftermath, Darkness, and Will Come Down. That's like a crusher. I mean, I don't know what are the events behind those 3 tunes, but certainly Reaction in the Aftermath, which is far and away my favorite tune. It's a really punishing tune.
We have a clip.
Of the actual music or of silence?
We do.
Okay, let's.
There's a reason why no one wants to walk in circles, subjugate the eyes. No one wants to be reduced to a tragedy, a name.
So I just got to say one thing. All that being said, I've got a million things I'd love to do, a million things I like to ask, but maybe that's not what you want to talk about. Maybe there's something in your mind that you really want to talk about, because maybe you don't want to talk about 4 a.m. anymore, and you want to talk about something else. I don't know.
I, I'm happy to talk about whatever. I think you bring up a really, really interesting point about like the music on its own versus knowing what it's about. I always thought that it's enhanced when you kind of know what's going on. But I mean, everyone's got an opinion. I mean, I only have a certain view of this, which is, I've got that starting point of knowing what the song is about, and then I write the song. And I think a lot of artists are like, oh, I don't want to talk about the song, and like I want people to interpret it the way they want to interpret it. This is not that project. I mean,
Okay.
I think it's fine if people don't want to hear about what the song's about. That's totally fine. If they're listening to it to listen to the music, I'm like, wow, like that's an honor for me to be like, well, there's not like this. There doesn't need to be this backstory to it. People can just listen to the music and enjoy it without knowing it. I think as technology goes along, there's going to be a lot easier ways to the way we consume music. There's going to be ways for us to see what the song is about or choose not to. There's always been liner notes. I will continue to try to put out physical media. It's part of the project. I give myself a pass because the project is 20 years long, and if I haven't quite put out some of the physical media yet, I'm going to get to it at some point. And there will be liner notes and things that people can open up and look at and discover. For now, and not having those notes up on 4 a.m. in Bandcamp is on me. Like it's just one of those things that are on my to-do list. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I don't know if I answered.
It's a lot. I mean, I actually uploaded this to DistroKid yesterday.
Great.
And that's long overdue. And what I'm holding up is the album Titanic by Jim Spagigo, 1996 release. I was under the impression from the record label that he wanted there never to be a digital release. And I got an angry email from Mitch Cantor at the head of Gadfly Records. And he was like, what the heck are you talking about? I never said that. You're free to put it online. Wow. Come on. What are you, nuts?
Wow.
Anyway, seemed angry. Probably was a very kind. I just took it as that's, you never know when you're reading something, whether it's angry or not. But no, he said absolutely put it up there. And I did. And then it's like, yeah, an incredible, I'm crediting everyone, including you, of course, on She Said, He Said, which is, it came out so brilliantly. And your rap in the middle of it is just amazing. But there's an amazing amount of like data entry when you're running your own music gig. It's, it's like, it's heavy. And, your music is going to be better, not only if you have lyrics, but if you have synced lyrics. And that really means like you get all the lyrics exactly right. And then you kind of use this tool to synchronize each line of the song. Right? With when it's occurring.
Soul crushing.
Yeah. It's like the worst kind of data entry.
I'd rather be cleaning faders with contact cleaner than doing this on my mixing board.
I'm like, I'm an artist. I should be getting stoned right now. What am I doing? So yeah, I relate.
So was 4 a.m., was it a different direction, or was it just a continue? Do you perceive sort of tectonic shifts? Do you see that you're going in certain directions, or you're expanding in a particular sound canvas area versus other ones, or do you not really, or is that not really? Because let me tell you what I noticed. Led Zeppelin drums, like really heavy drums on so many things. I know this must be absolutely annoying as hell, but I definitely heard either maybe it's just because it saturates our society so much. So many things that are echoes of Pink Floyd. the heavy drums, but also what's the reaction in the aftermath, those vocals at the end, the acapella female vocal, which is like Great Big Gig in the Sky. There's just lots of and also the other thing is, I know this is probably really annoying, but Dark Side of the Moon, where was that? There's one that was clearly, when you're talking about, I think it's the first one, A Perfect World, because you say everything that ever was or ever will be from the beginning of time to the end of entropy. It's almost like that same thing. Everything you love and everything you hate and everything you ever know, it is under the sun. I don't know if you've been listening to a lot of Pink Floyd, but it felt that way.
I will say that there was no effort on my part to make it sound like like the whole album to be cohesively as an album. In fact, I think if anything, I'm constantly trying to fight that, and I'm trying to, go outside of my comfort zone and bring in music that I am not experienced with, just because I don't want to be one of these artists who is, or at least I don't want this project to be the same song done 288 times. Like I feel like I'm obligated to really put in as much different types of music as I possibly can. I don't think I'm ever going to get away from loving the sound of like giant drums in certain songs. So that, I bet you like 20 years from now, I'll still have songs that have giant drums in them, like very kind of harsh, heavy drums.
Yeah, very like room heavy, gated, and heavily compressed, like the Bonham sound, the John Bonham sound.
Yeah. In terms of Pink Floyd, like there was, I think the last time I, listened to a Pink Floyd album was, I don't know, 20 or more years ago.
Oh, okay.
And not that music isn't potentially ingrained in my head, because I've listened to those albums, some of those albums, like a lot in my lifetime. That's
so. Can I ask, what was, just take one song at a time. We don't have to do all of them, all the stories behind, but A Perfect World definitely made me wonder what the inspiration was. What was happening at 4 a.m.?
So I'm not really great about articulating things sometimes. So I'm just going to read from my notes that will eventually make it into the liner notes.
Great.
So there were two things in this book. I think it's a book, The Life and Death of Planet Earth, How the New Science of Astrobiology Charts the Ultimate Fate of the World. The life on planet Earth is depicted as a clock. At 4 a.m., the first animals and plants appear. And then there's also geologic calendar. A variation of this analogy instead compresses Earth's 4.6 billion year old history into a single day. While the Earth still forms at midnight, and the present day is also represented by midnight, the first life on Earth would appear at 4 a.m.
Oh, cool. Can I play it? I have a clip. And by the way, in the spirit of these albums, these clips are exactly 1 minute long.
Ooh, nice.
To when the end of entropy began, a new beginning, a perfect world without a single plan. Anything we've ever done or ever dreamed of, all that we've become. Everything we'll ever touch or see, all that we'll ever.
I did have a clip with your voice on it, but I like that beginning. so much. Just something so sweet about that.
It's like raindrops.
Yeah, the synth
feels like
pad and then the
raindrops.
plucked strings above. And who's the voice?
That's my daughter Irene.
Beautiful,
Thanks.
beautiful.
Yeah,
Ah,
kind of the concept of that was to try, if how do you represent life as it's just starting to form, and it starts with, like, I don't know, these, I don't know the
Isolated.
biology. Yeah,
You go
yeah.
ahead,
So
sorry. Yeah.
so like there's a pluck and then another pluck,
Yeah.
and by the end there's like lots of plucks,
Yeah.
like everything kind of multiplying. And
yeah. I mean, I have to choose a point in the song, but it, yeah, it's a beautiful start to the album too. It's really nice, and I have to say, the quality of production across all 4 of these albums so
Yeah.
far
It's ridiculous.
is mind-blowingly good. And also, I heard when I was on your podcast, Phil, I heard a preview of something from 5 a.m. and the production absolutely blew me away. It's you're so talented as a producer. Do you feel like you have better production skills just having to kind of churn these out? I mean, to come up with new ideas for production for each of the songs. Have you felt like you've grown a lot while you've done that?
I mean, let me just start by saying that's, it's a super nice thing to get that kind of feedback. I mean, as I'm doing this project, there's a lot of doubt in my mind at times, and there's just times where I'm like, what am I what am I doing? Why am I doing this? So it's, and like, is it good? Like, are these songs good? Like, and
Yes,
Yeah, they are.
they are.
I don't know. I don't know who the audience is. I mean,
But
you know.
you're asking yourself. You're talking about your internal monologue.
yeah, so
Yeah.
it's really nice to hear somebody like you, whose music I totally love, saying like, yeah, I really like the production. Like, yeah, thank you, man.
I've never made anything like this.
Yeah.
These are. I mean, the closest I came was Utopia Revisited, and a lot of that was Kurt. So I don't. I'm happy writing songs, and I'll play them on a ukulele if that's what I've got. But when I was working with Ducky, it was wonderful to like see his mind work, and then I would have some suggestions, and Jason would have suggestions. But putting it together, the arrangement, you did the composition, the lyrics, the arrangement, a lot of the playing, and the production. So it's yeah, you're a real force. What is it? You're a polyglot? You're a multi-hyphenate? Polymath. What's a glot?
Okay, let's lay off the.
I want to know what a glot
ass
is.
kissing
I
here.
want to
Okay,
know right now.
Let's get back to work here.
It's one of those people who speaks a lot of languages.
Oh, that's right.
That's a
Polymath.
So Perfect World. Oh, so you're saying it's hard sometimes that you know it's hard. So you're happy to hear that. Was there also, were we talking about something else for that?
I mean, in terms of the production, and does it change over time? I don't know.
Okay.
I would suppose that if you spend as many hours as I do on this stuff, that at some point, you're going to keep getting a little bit better over time, or maybe you're going to get worse too. Like some people, some people over time, they hit a peak, and then, they take a different direction. And so I don't know.
Meth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so another thing is, I know when we talked to you last, is that you spoke about how sometimes you hide Easter eggs in these tunes. Like, I remember you telling us that there's one tune where if you put it through like, a spectral analyzer, it'll show a picture of like the Apollo 5 rocket or something. I forgot what that was. That's when I started really, that's when I had, actually, that was one of the only few times when I had deep concerns about you.
I know enough about Logic now. I could actually see them now. I have to go back and put.
But is there? Are you still Heidi? Are you still like integrating fairly complex, Easter eggs or entwining things in these tunes to be pried out?
Yes. I mean, it's just part of the big picture of this whole project. So every single song, if you put it through a spectrogram, to analyze what's going on in there, you will see an image.
What?
Okay.
And then I also have like hidden files on each album, and there's a rhyme and a reason to it, and there's like a key that I use to be like, okay, this is, I've got to hide this thing here in this fourth song or whatever it happens to be for that album. And I guess the idea is at the end of the whole project, maybe there's a companion book that goes along, so that if people want to kind of follow and figure out what I've done, it'll make their life a lot easier.
Yeah, wow. So I wish I had better contacts at NPR, because I think they would just lose their minds over this project. What was I thinking? No, it's gone. I have to come back.
Do you have a favorite tune from 4 a.m.? Do you even listen to it?
Yeah, I do. I probably listen to my music like a lot more than most people listen to their own music. And I'm not even sure why that is. I don't know if it's like I'm trying to reassure myself that like what I did is like on the money. Or sometimes like as I'm going through like working on new stuff, I'm like, I get maybe discouraged, or I want to, if I want to sort of prop myself up a little bit in my own head, I'll go back and listen to things. I'll be like, wow, like today, even just to prepare for this, I was going back a little further to, I think 3 a.m. And, I was like, there was like a song or two that I was like, yeah, I was just really digging it. But on 4 a.m., I would say, 425 Will Come Down is, for some reason, it hits
Yeah.
me in all the right places. And I feel like one of the I think musicians, they sort of have their idea of what does it mean to be famous. And I think a lot of people are like, well, if I hear my song on the radio, or if I don't know what to think the thing is now, if it's like TikTok, I get X amount of hits. For me, I think it's, and I doubt this will ever happen, but if there was a jazz band that
Covered your
heard
tune?
Mhm.
that would cover my song, because to me, jazz is like the highest form of music. It's very complex. You have to think on your feet, and harmony is important, melody, everything is melody is important. So if somebody were to listen to a song of mine, like somebody who I feel like is above my class of musicianship, and they were like, oh, I really like this song, it'd be because like the melody works well, harmony works well. And for me, this song kind of does it for me. Like I could like imagine somebody listening to this and appreciating it for what it is.
Here it is.
For the rest of our days, we're running away in the silence. We can never escape. The past is the same. In the light, all inside us. The echoes always lead to paradise. The sun will rise. We're running away. In the light, in the silence. The shadow man will come to make things right.
Yeah, I had this one as one of my favorites, and The Lives of Great Men, The Hum, and West Lafayette.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is really, that's an amazing tune.
Yeah.
I don't understand how you can make them all end exactly at 5. What I mean, do you have to cut them off? I mean, how do you do this?
It was a head scratcher for me initially, and I think I said on the first time we got together, it was like that was the least, that was the thing that was like, oh God, I don't really know, 5 minutes. And I think I said, like 3.5 to 4.5 minutes seems like an ideal, and then things kind of drag on, and I just was not into this. I at some point I was like, I really don't know if I want to do this, and then I
The
just
final minute.
and I kind of forced myself to be like, yeah, just go ahead with it. It makes sense mathematically. It makes sense, for a number of reasons. So, I've gotten it's gotten fairly easy for me to do it, and it's about, you write the song, and then you have most of the time there's time to sort of explore. There's time to stretch out. And that's okay. Like, I think we're bombarded, especially now, by like, you gotta love something in the first 5 seconds. And then but this project, like the 5-minute thing, kind of lets the song unfold at a certain pace that I'm very familiar with now. And, as I said before, there's room to go one way or the other. If it's too long, then I can maybe speed the song up a couple beats per minute.
Right.
If it's
Right, I
too
see.
if it's too short, I can maybe slow it down a couple beats per minute.
Right. No,
I can-
actually, with technology, I suppose then that does make sense. That you can at least map it out rhythmically and then fine tune it. That does make sense. That would work out.
Yeah, I think, one of the first things I do when I'm starting a song is like I will map it out, and then okay, this is going to be a bridge. This will be the chorus. And I'll have it like in front of me, and I'll see how does it feel, and if I need to, have a double chorus to get it a little bit further, I'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
Or in the less oftentimes, if a song is too long, I'll be like, okay, I can cut this section. I don't really need this section here. And I made it a conscious effort to not, like, I guess the cheating thing for me would be to like do the fade out.
Right. Yeah, just have a long tail and fade it.
And I think I don't know that I have any fade out songs like on this yet. I might have a one or two earlier on, but pretty much every song now, it's like, it plays, it ends, and you look and it's okay, it's 5 minutes.
Who were there some key contributors? Because again, I know nothing about these tunes other than their names. Other than your daughter, you've already mentioned your daughter Irene.
Yeah, let me see. I think since we spoke, there's also 3 a.m. and there's a bunch of people on there. I'll say that Jennifer Kimball, who I absolutely adore, my hope is that she will be on every album, on one song on every album. And so far, and that's something that went back from like, oh gosh, I don't even know, like one of my first things that I released was, we're going back a long, long time. And I, got up the courage to ask her to sing on a song, and she did, and I loved it, and I love her voice. So when I started this project, I'm like, and thinking about these things that are consistent, putting these puzzles in there. One of the things that I really wanted to do was to get her to be on at least one song on every album. So she's on every album so far.
She's on this one. But I've forgotten which song it is. It's is it Lives of Great Men, or is it, which one is it?
Now I have to look myself. And again, of course, I didn't put the liner notes together yet.
Maybe I'll have it. I mean, I have
Jim
a clip
has
of all
12
of
empty clips where this is the 18 people. This is it.
I got it to work. Got it to work. Actually, can I play Lives of Great Men while we're confused here?
Yeah.
This is another one of my favorites.
Back to your tricks again. Hoping
Yeah. I love how it just drops to zero. There's that's so wonderful and gutsy. You're like, what? Something go wrong? My audio just cut out.
So can I read to you what that one is? Because I think you guys are gonna
Go ahead.
gonna laugh, and you get like whatever. Maybe we should do this backwards. Like, what do you think the song might be about?
Well, there's a quote. There's a found vocal at the beginning of it where the guy's saying, you know, what's happening in this country today. It sounds like it's from like, it's certainly either 50s or 60s or 70s is what it sounds like to me, maybe 60s. And it's somebody saying, can you please comment on how what's happening today might lead to a revolution? So I was thinking, I thought, you know, of course, the mind of somebody of my generation immediately leaps to Nixon. Did I get it?
You are right on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was that was a press conference, and the guy was asking Nixon, about, you hear it on the song, and so the moment that this is from is, I'll just read it. Sanchez, along with the president's physician, Major General Walter Chalk, and 4 United States Secret Service agents, accompanied Nixon during his unannounced 4:40 a.m. visit to the Lincoln Memorial on May 8th, 1970, during which he met students protesting the Vietnam War.
This is famous. This is a very famous event.
Yeah, and I dug a little bit deeper, and there was like a picture. I won't have it now, and I should make sure I have this in the notes. But there's a picture that was given to him by his mother with like a famous quote, and I tried to incorporate that in the lyrics as well. I'll go back a second if I can and just answer the question, which was Jennifer Kimball is on 420 Darkness.
Oh yeah. Okay, so if you're going to put Cyrillic in the dang title of the song,
right,
I get to ask what it's about. So there's Russian in there. So is it Chernobyl?
I'll just
That's
read
what
it.
I thought.
When Russian forces took over neighborhoods in Ukraine, it was difficult to evacuate people. At 4 a.m., Bob Platts, a 62-year-old American veteran of the 82nd Airborne Division and resident in a small village, got a text from Stern. Be ready to leave in 20 minutes, it said. This time, Platts and his wife take their chances without an escort, afraid of what might happen if they stay. So these people are trying to get out of Ukraine when Russia invaded. And this guy was a veteran, and there's another guy whose mission it is to try to help people get out of, difficult situations. And so that's what happened. They had tried, they failed, they couldn't get him out. They were afraid they weren't going to make it through the night. And then this guy gets a text saying, be ready to leave in 20 minutes. So that's the 420, where they're trying to get out of Ukraine to safety.
Was it put your bags in the rack and say a prayer that you make it back?
Yeah.
And if you something like, if you survived, what do you say? Don't describe, just it's really chilling.
Well, I don't know if I picked that part in the clip.
Those 3 songs, as I said, those 3 songs, Reaction, The Aftermath, Darkness, and Will Come Down, are just, it's like, I remember the one, what was it? One of the early albums, you had that one, the story about, it's going to be all right.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay. We're going to sit back and laugh about this someday. And it's just this crushing song, because you tell the story about it. It's about this kid gets hit by a car.
Yeah. That was
and I don't even want to ask even further story. I'm sorry, what, Jim?
Before we lose the plot, I want to play the clip for the Darkness.
Okay.
Before we move on.
Don't despair. Just make your way back here. Make your way back here.
Okay, just to be annoying,
Yeah.
got to tell you what I heard. One, I heard a little bit of Thomas Dolby there, strangely enough.
That's right. Yeah.
And another thing is that there's a trumpet solo on this tune.
Oh, yeah.
So
I-
many songs. So
there's
many
so many
songs.
songs, but I think that was, I'm pretty
48
sure
here,
that
yeah.
was, you could believe it. It's not a trumpet. I have a trumpet. I've actually played trumpet on like, at least one or two like legitimate releases, but I always wished I could play better trumpet. And my instrument in school was trombone. So I don't know, in the last year or more, maybe I bought a soprano trombone,
Oh, nice.
which sounds like a trumpet.
That's a
fantastic.
soprano trombone. That's you.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Oh, thanks.
And that reminded me of another person, which probably neither of you guys know about, which is Mark Isham.
Yeah, you
Mark
mentioned him.
Isham was one of the big ambient, like in the super heyday of ambient music in the 1990s and early 2000s. Like he was right up there with like what's his name, I forget the guy, Robert Rich or something like that. But he did this album called Tibet, which is one of my favorite albums of all time, which is just these incredibly massive hazy synth chords, and then he's just an ass kicking trumpeter on top of it, and he just rips these solos on top of it with trumpet. It really I'll send you a link to Mark Isham's Tibet. It so much sounded like that. It has that sort of very high altitude feel to it. Like the chords that you have in that song, there's like this haze. It's almost like a morning mist around the entire thing with the reverb and the chords. And so you have that feeling like you're on top of a mountain or something like that. And then you have what sounds like a trumpet coming across it. So yeah, I dug that tune hugely.
Thanks.
I want to rip through two more at least before
Okay.
we finish. We were talking about the hum, and that one was also knocked me out. This is the hum.
I love those sounds. I love those digital sounds, like digital, like sampling artifacts, you know, like these vocoder sounds. It's great.
I'll ask a question that will cause the remainder of our listeners to stop listening immediately, which is, how did you record the drums on this album? They do sound very similar and coherent in terms of miking techniques.
No, miking techniques are not involved. It's all, going to a school and learning about recording. Like the main thing that is they stick in your head is like, do not rely on outboard gear. You really should try to, be a purist and try to get the best possible sound you can get with the mics that you have and the room that you have. And it's an art form, and people have been doing it for a long, long time. And I don't have that room. So I have to use outboard gear. And so I am not a purist in terms of recording. I will get the sound that I want to get by any means necessary. And I'm not going to cry about it if I'm not in a really nice studio. I'm just going to try my best. And some people will say like, oh, well, yeah, I can hear it. I can hear that, that wasn't mic'd in a certain way or a certain room, but that everything that I do is in this tiny room that, It's a tiny little isolated room. It's not. I don't even have a recording studio. I have a control room. Like everything, all the recording is done in the control room. There's no real studio. So that is the reality of the situation. Now, I will say that there's a couple times when I get lucky, and I'll have somebody that knows what they're doing, and I'll have a studio to go to, but it's a small fraction of what I do.
Again, just to continue the fanboy adulation, I think one of the best compliments is when somebody really hates a tune at first and then they become obsessed with it. Like the first time I heard Sure Fine, Why Not?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was like, okay. Yeah. Then a couple of months later, I was like, maybe I should give it another chance. And I listened to it again. I was like, that's not half bad. And then like 6 months later, I'm like playing it every day. And I love the video. I think that's
cool.
An extraordinary video and an extraordinary tune. And I thought that was really, really a really great tune. But I keep talking. What do you, is there something you want to talk? Is there something you want to say?
I mean, I have, my brain really like picks up on what other people say. So I will pick up on the Sure Fine, Why Not? That was a pretty big thrill for me because there's a guy named Matt McGinley who started, I think he started a band called Gym Class Heroes, and they were a huge band at one point. And now he's doing all sorts of music for like NPR shows. And he was living in Rochester. I was looking for a keyboard, and he was selling a keyboard. And we were trying to figure out, okay, like I'm interested. Should I come to your place? And he didn't know who I was. I didn't know who he was. He's like, well, I can bring it over. I'm like, oh, okay. And through this like one interaction on whatever Craigslist,
yeah.
We get to talking, and he eventually tells me who he who he is, and like I'm being a fanboy now, and I was at one point listening to something that he had posted on Instagram, and he's like, well, this is like an unfinished piece that I've never figured out what to do with. And I immediately was like, damn, I could do something with that. Like, let me try to do something with it. And so I came up with the lyrics and the melody, and he liked it enough to say, yeah, let's put this together. So,
and what did he perform on it? Did he perform on it?
He played, other than the guitar solo, which I played, and bass guitar, which a buddy of his played, he did everything.
What's that sound at the beginning? I'm sorry. Do you have the cue? Do you have the opening lick lined up, Jim?
This is from 3:30. This is 3:35, so it's on the 3 a.m. album.
Lies and shade. Walk on in the big parade. Go back again to get ahead. Then pray for the living dead. Make or break politics. Throw it at the wall and watch it stick. But one day soon lose it all. Love notes on an empty wall. Fall asleep. Right in front of you, time to let the healing begin for this great big world, a chance to build the future again.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about? That sound.
Yeah.
Dong, dong,
That's
dong,
all.
dong.
That's all him. And yeah, I
Was
kind of
guitar?
I have no idea what it is. I mean, you'd have to talk to him to figure out, how he made that. And there's probably sound design involved in that. I don't know, but I kind of love, like, when I first heard that on Instagram, I'm like, this is awesome. I love this. So I went ahead and tried to do my best with it, and he dug it.
It's a fabulous tune, and it's a really, you think being 62 years old and being brought up in the great golden era of FM, FM pop, that you could not possibly stomach yet another long guitar solo.
Mm.
And then you listen to that solo in Surefire Why Not, and it's glorious. You're like, you're just going up here. It's just, cut this part out. But it's just, it's such a joyous. It's a great tune. So I'll stop there. Jim, you got one more song? You want to play?
West Lafayette. Is that cool?
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
This is a really cool song.
I love her voice.
87 years, dust to dust will go. 15 million memories that fall.
Who's playing soprano sax?
That is a guy named Michael Teitelbaum. He's the director of jazz studies at Ithaca College, and the way that came about was, I played with him when he was a kid. We were kids, and we were involved in the Eastman's School of Music, like the summer jazz program, or actually maybe it was I don't even know what it was. Maybe it was like the Penfield Summer Jazz, something like some kind of summer jazz thing. And you're talking about like this probably 15 or 16-year-old kid, and I'm hearing him play. I'm like, oh my God, like this guy's awesome. And I've got a page of, people that I've who have left an impression with me over the years.
I'm on there, right? Of course.
Jim, we will actually, before I'm going to get all sidetracked here, but Jim, I like the last time we talked, we were like, oh, we got to get you on one of these songs.
Mhm.
And if I keep I feel like I keep waiting for like a big album, like the halfway point. Like, screw it. Like, you can be on that one
I'll
too.
come back for the halfway.
And I'm saying I'm going to, starting now, like I'm working on like 525, don't even know what it's about. I'm going to start sending you songs. And if
Great.
you feel like you want to join in, that would be great.
Yeah, I'll do what I can from here. I mean, I'm going to, this is going to be an interesting trip, Phil. So I'm coming out to Syracuse, and then it sounds like we'll be able to get together and get the garbage plate in Rochester. But my car is a BMW i3, and it's got a range of about 124 miles, right?
That's great.
And the trip to Lionel is like 600 miles. So I'll be stopping to charge like 8 times. No, I mean, not 8. I think the map, the program on my phone says I'll only have to stop 3 times. We shall see. The math doesn't really work out for that, so maybe it's not quite 600 miles, but it's an 8-hour drive in my little electric that's really meant to just go around town. Like, I'm going to be putting, in my little electric, and then passed by trucks. But I really look forward to seeing you there, and it's just been too long since we've seen each other in person.
Yeah. And I think you'll be able to make it on one charge from Syracuse to here, and then we can charge you up here.
Or we'll take my car. I mean, yeah.
If we want an adventure, we'll take Rangeley, the Beamer.
Okay. Well, yeah. You take Rangeley and I'll follow behind you in the Kia Soul. So just in case.
You can push.
And so I wanted to add too, though, that on that last song, I don't think would have happened without this show.
Really?
Because there's that was the first true like collaboration of a song as far as I feel that I've ever done. I mean, where it was nothing, and then I was collaborating with somebody by the name of Ben Burns.
Oh, right.
He reached out to me and he's like, because he heard me through you and he wanted to do something. And this was the song that we worked on together. So like that, it's a real like half and half collaboration. I feel like lyrics,
Ben Burns,
music, everything.
He releases music under the name Abstraction. I was listening to it today. Yeah, he's a force, man. He creates a ton of music on like a regular basis. Yeah, I'm very impressed with his work.
So something that's been rattling around my head. You talked about jazz, Phil.
Yeah.
And how I hear so much of it on this album.
Yeah.
We just heard a chunk of it on that last tune. The one I really heard it on was The Longest Game.
Oh yeah.
Your piano playing on that. There is a place where you really stretch out, like you really go on a trek with the piano. I was like, boy, is this like Brad Meldau? It feels a little bit like Steely Dan. I mean, the whole album, I hate doing this reference check thing, but you've got oblique lyrics, lyrics where it's kind of difficult to figure out exactly what's taking place here. And you've got it's fundamentally, even though you've got these like booming drums and stuff like that, it's fundamentally a very smooth sound. It's especially a lot of the vocals and a lot of the backing vocals that you do, they're very la 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 la. Which song is that? The one with the la la la's? Yeah, you can't
remember, but I will say
Crossing the River.
Oh, okay. I will say you nailed it with Brad Meldau. Yeah. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but I think I was listening sort of obsessively to a song that he recorded on with Lewis Cole. And I was like, God, I wish I could get like a piano player who could do something like this. And typically I'll try myself and I'll usually fail, but I kept trying with that song. And I still, at the end, I was like, I'm not sure. Like, I kind of like it, but I'm not sure I really reached that level. Like these people, right, will play something amazing. They'll just sit down, they'll play something amazing and they'll leave. Like whatever, I don't know how many hours that took me to get to, right? Like,
right.
There's no way I could do that. I don't have that skill set in my vocabulary, but.
Can I play the clip?
Sure.
I don't know if I got the right part.
The broken bats and benches feed the flame. Tonight, they're gonna play the longest game. The cold cannot extinguish what's inside. They're not dead, they're resurrected and alive. The Judas wind will keep the game in play.
Yeah, this album does have a different character about it. It's wild. I mean, you think the project is like metronomic, right? 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. Where is the room for each of the albums to have its own feel? And yet this one really totally does.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some that do and some don't. Maybe I don't know. I don't know if there's, for me, that might be part of like the whole randomness of it. Like some will sound like it's a complete album. Some will just sound like a bunch of random tunes put together. Again, like, having The Longest Game as a reference. Is there any interest in hearing the notes on that one?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's about The Longest Game. I think I've heard about it's obviously it's about baseball.
Yeah. At 4:07 a.m. on Easter Sunday, the longest game in professional baseball was stopped. Rochester Red Wings and Pawtucket Red Sox.
Oh, really? The Paw Sox.
The game was paused after 8 hours of playing and 32 innings to be continued. The game
Here we are having a Boston Rochester conversation.
The game was played in Pawtucket, but commentary was broadcast in Rochester, where one woman was recording to cassettes. She ran out of tapes and started taping over pre-recorded music, including Elvis.
That's what I thought.
It was so cold that teams started burning broken bats and parts of broken benches to stay warm.
Oh,
okay, but then there's something else in the tune, not so subtle, which is they are resurrected.
Yeah, I mean,
the Judas Wind. I mean, yeah,
that was reference to it being Easter Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And I read accounts of it where, like, the game was almost over, and you think like the guy's about to catch it, and then the wind like takes the ball somewhere else.
Amazing.
I try to be like pretty like oftentimes I try to get like these little details in as best as I can. And again, that might be sort of one of the versions of like a hidden nugget in there of trying to get these details into the songs.
Oh, it's just amazing. The project, is continuing. You're doing 5. It's just, I think it's.
Oh, second, I'm confused about saying
amazing.
What was the first album called?
12 a.m.
Oh, okay.
A Day in Music, 12 a.m.
Okay. Do I have that one?
I think you
should.
do.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
What's the first tune was on the threshing floor, right?
That was sort of later in the album, I think.
Yeah, in the threshing room is what we named the podcast with.
Right.
We'll
okay.
Figure out what we'll name this one, but we're at an hour, and we could easily do 7. Like, we could just basically go through each one of these songs and talk about it. But I think that would not.
No, I want him to get back to work. Okay, Phil, we're done. Go record something.
Yeah. And I would be so happy to be part of this project. So happy to be part of this.
It's going to happen on 5 a.m. Yeah, I'm
going to send you I sort of have progressively better and better mixes for the thing that I'm doing for myself, because I had written the 31 songs in 6 months, and I'm recording 13 of them. There's no production in those tunes. It is me and the guitar and nothing else. But I would be really happy to send you a preview of them.
I would love it. What was the one? I'm going to get it wrong, but boxing? Was that
Shadow Boxing?
Oh
Shadow
God,
Boxing.
I love that song, Jim.
I think that's going to be the last tune on the CD. Yeah. The thing is, I wanted to make a record of some of the songs that I like best. And then I just want it to be unmistakably not AI in any possible way, just a person playing their tunes. So, of course, Jason called me up and was like, I think it should have a little of this or a little of that. I'm like, yeah, but then it becomes a Jim's Big Ego album. And he's like, yeah, but your vocals sound a little like fragile and some. I'm like, yeah, but it's like I just feel like I'm vomiting this thing out. Anyway, I'm talking too much about myself, but I would love to send you the preview of it, or I can play it for you when I see you or something.
No, I'd love to hear the whole thing, and whatever my brain is doing. Like, I heard that song, I'm like, just could not stop myself from like, yeah, you could do this. This just like
right, exactly. And I did record it so that I can make stems for other producers to fill them out. So
awesome.
I could throw that at you. And I think, I could. That was actually the idea. Lionel might work on some. Kurt might work on some. If you'd like to work on some, if you have any time, except that it might delay.
He doesn't have any time.
No.
Okay, I'm telling you right now.
I don't care.
6 a.m. right now. And And Jeff Turela. I don't think you know Jeff Turela. He's also a really fun producer. Hopefully we'll play with it.
Yeah, cool.
Phil, love you, man. Can't wait to see
Love you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
So good.
Funny Not Funny is produced by Jim Infantino at Slab Media in Boston. Jim Infantino and Lionel Casson are the co-hosts. Our website is funnynotfunny.net. The theme music is from the song Wheel from the album Utopia Revisited by Jim. The opinions presented by the co-hosts are ridiculous and should not be taken seriously by anyone. Our intended audience is literally nobody. If you're listening to this podcast, you should probably pause to reflect on other choices you've recently made. Please do not subscribe or leave a rating or review. It only encourages us to make more. Thanks for listening.